Okay, and we are back for episode 44 of the Ricky Henderson podcast, the greatest of all podcasts, the G.O.A.P. I'm your host, Alex Espinoza, here with my boys, Anson Casanares and Jorge Leon, a.k.a. the G.O.A.P boys. What's up, guys? Been 6 months. We just found out since we did this one. How crazy is that? How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself? I know.
What is this? Jorge's like a world traveler going to Mexico and shit now, you know.
I wish I would have stayed out there.
Oh man. Well, okay. It's Tuesday night. Big news, obviously. Mark Kotsay has been hired as the A's new manager. They announced he has a 3-year deal with the club option for 2025. Just your initial thoughts. I mean, I don't know if I'm too surprised by it. It seemed kind of like the most logical option, but what are your guys' first impressions of the hire?
George, you want to go first?
Okay, I'll go. My initial thing was, man, like you said, I think most of the fan base saw it coming. Most of the people in baseball saw that coming. We weren't gonna make no splashy signing, or we're not gonna be spending any money this year, or I don't know until when. But I knew they were gonna hire some white old dude. That's just the way it is. Not that I don't have anything against Mark Kotsay, I don't, but it's just super annoying and frustrating from a fan base that needs some sort of uplifting thing. I mean, I get it. Mark Kotsay is a player's coach and whatnot, but I would have gone with someone else. Obviously, being a great diversity like Oakland, I still can't believe we don't have a first Black or Latino manager in the history of the Oakland A's.
Yeah, it's been white. It's been a white dude every single time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts on that.
Yeah, what about you, Anson? What did you think? What was your first thought?
Well, this whole time I wanted Ron Washington, and ironically, I don't like when the A's hire in-house, because ironically, Ron Washington should have been the in-house hire back when he should have been the A's manager. It's not like I dislike Mark Kotsay. I loved him as a fan. I loved how he played the game. It was just kind of like what George said. We need a spark in this fan base. We've been plagued with this whole distraction with Vegas the whole season, and even during the offseason. We see players like Marcus Semien sign huge deals within the division now, and we're in this same roundabout of we can't attain new players, or we can't attain the same players while expanding in free agency. And here we are, it feels like it's the same old story, and it's kind of frustrating when in reality the flip side is all the players seem to love this. They love Mark Kotsay, and then I get it, but as a fan, I just want to see them go do something different, think outside the box, show something to this fan base that you're losing by the month, that like, hey, we're serious. We're going to build a winner, and we're not going to do the same thing that we've been doing in the past, which has not been working. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. I'm going to give him a fair shot. It's a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
As long as he has that good rapport with the players, that's all I can really ask for.
Yeah, because I like, for me, I just thought really initially, like once people found, like, they reported, like the main impetus for this was probably they were trying to shed Bob Melvin's like $4 million salary. It just made sense that like Kotsay and Christensen would probably be the top 2 guys. And then once Christensen went to San Diego, I was like, all right, it's probably going to be Kotsay. So that's what I was thinking. I mean, I know they were interviewing some other guys, like it was I think Will Venable from the Red Sox, like a top like bench coaches, Randy, I don't know, Matt Quattraro and
Marcus Jensen. Is it Marcus Jensen?
Joe Espada, and then Marcus Jensen and Darren Bush were another pair of in-house candidates. But I feel like this was kind of like Kotsay's job to lose once Christensen made the choice to dip.
Yeah, I agree.
And I wonder if Christensen already talked to Kotsay. He's like, yo, dude, are you trying, like, I don't know, are you like, should I go or what?
I'm actually glad it wasn't Ryan Christensen. I would have been kind of more, I think I would have been upset. Like, I'm not upset that's Mark Kotsay. I'm not like, I'm gonna be obviously rooting for him, for his success. But like if it was Ryan Christensen, I think I would have been upset. I would have been like, Jesus Christ. Kyle.
Yeah, it would have been like y'all ain't even trying anymore. It would have been like, why can't we just get Mark Kotsay? But
yeah. Well,
yeah.
And I know it's like pretty hard to understand like how good an assistant coach is unless you're part of their team. Even like Kotsay, like who knows like how good of like we get to see Melvin because he interacts with people, but for the most part, assistant coaches are kind of laying in the cut doing their thing. But were there any candidates that they did interview or they were linked with that might have that would have got you guys stoked? Like, is there anybody they could have hired? I think Ron Washington, maybe just for nostalgia's sake and everything, that would have been cool, but everybody's saying he probably would have commanded too much money. But I mean, is there anybody who would have, kind of got you guys going and you guys would have enjoyed, like really been stoked about?
I honestly really think that it's more about everything else is such a dark cloud. Even if they just went anyone else, if they wouldn't have gone in-house, and I would be like, okay, maybe, you're trying to do something. It just seems like they're doing the easy route, which doesn't give me any excitement or hope to what's going to happen in the next year or two, but I could be wrong as well.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't think, my personal, how I'm feeling right now is very mad with the whole Oakland organization, just because of all the flirtation of moving to Vegas, your usual not really spending or caring about the team itself. So my focus has kind of been more like with the Roots, because the Roots went into the playoffs, and pretty excited about that. Even the news that came out today. So I'm like, the A's are kind of like, they really pissed me off. And so to me, I think I wouldn't want Ron Washington to come into this situation either anyway. So would I be, hell yeah, I would have been celebrating if it was Ron Washington. But been kind of messed up if it was, because he kind of just comes in and inherits this like build what do you call it, rebuild. So would have been fair for him? Probably not. So that's why I think I'm very very neutral with what they did. So I think I'm more focused on the stadium situation as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. But yeah, me and Anson, before you got on, we were talking about the Roots too. He was saying like there's some other A's fans. Sounds like there's like a migration of A's fans. It's like to the Roots. It's like, and you mentioned the news. For people who don't know, the Roots announced a deal today. They're going to start practicing at the Raiders' old practice facility, right? Or that's going to be their new HQ, right? Basically, right? Is that right? Like, because there's office buildings and a practice facility there.
Right.
So.
I believe they're just renting or leasing half of the building. They're not. So there's not the whole HQ. I think they're going to keep the HQ at they're out there in East Oakland on I forgot what it's called. But they're right smack right on by Fruitvale. So they're just going to have that as their training facility, basically.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm excited, man. That's pretty tight. Like, that's going to get you some good players out there, because, that's what it's all about.
The training facilities and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Because right now, like the Roots, they're in, what is it? The USL? Is that the name of their league, right?
Yeah, the USL Championship. And immediately, they even have better training facilities than the Oakland A's. I'm serious.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, it's what happens when you do something and you make stuff happen. That's how you create excitement. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Because the A's are like converted their old locker room into a weight room, basically. And
didn't they go to the Raiders' old locker room or something?
Yeah, so they moved up to the Raiders' locker room, which is really, really big and everything. And then they just put, I think, from what I understand, they put the weight room in their old clubhouse. But they used to like, basically they converted just this room into their weight room. Like it wasn't built into the 70s. Like there wasn't like a weight room built. Like they didn't lift weights. They just smoked cigarettes in the 70s. They did. And but it's hella funny because you go to Raiders games and it's like that's where they hold the press conferences too for a visiting team. So it's like you're surrounded by the A's weights while you're like interviewing Peyton Manning and stuff. It's hilarious. But so they don't have like that facility is not built for modern day. I mean, it's crazy that they were holding 2 major league franchises there. But
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
But one more thing I want to hit on before we go to the stadium stuff is he said Kotsay said he's gonna retain his whole coaching staff. So that means Darren Bush is gonna stay, Marcus Jensen, the bullpen coach, who Eric Martin's the assistant hitting coach, Scott Emerson's the pitching coach, somebody else, the first base coach, Michael Andretti. They need to get a third base coach, and Kotsay said they might expand their coaching staff. So what do you think about that? I mean, basically it's just a whole continuity, trying to keep it going kind of a thing, right? Like, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, the hitting, let's be real with the A's, it wasn't so very well. So I think overall the coaching staff is good. I think I don't want to place too much blame on Darren Bush, because you also still have to be able to hit the ball, yourself as a player. But I think that's a spot where I would have seen some, like, let's switch it up or shake it up and make it a little bit better, would be the hitting coach for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like they might still do that. I mean, it sounds like Kotsay was open to, the Giants have like 16 coaches I counted. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Right now the A's have 6. So,
but unfortunately, what it comes down to is you got to pay. And
yep. That's
the A's.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that Semien comment. As soon as he went to the Blue Jays, he's like, "Oh wow, it's crazy how many all the resources we got here and everything."
But I hate when players do that. Like, it makes, I'm like, God, it's like watching your kid excel without you. Like, all right, go on, little guy. Like, it's so embarrassing.
And you know what, man? It's so true even in real life. Like as far as like work, my job. Like, I never realized how if someone wants you so bad that like they give you anything you want, like all the resources you need, that's right there available to you, and you're just like, oh shit, like this actually exists out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they actually kind of care about me or something, you know? Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like you forget that's actually out there. And so I'm happy that Mark Siemens doing what he's got to do out there.
Dude, but now he's at the Rangers. He's got a 7-year.
That's the worst part.
7-year. What was it? 175, dude. Like, he got paid, dude. Good for Marcus. Like, he got paid. Like,
he deserves it.
He hit his 40 dingers last year. Like, good for him. But now it's like the A's get to see him 18 times a year. That's crazy, man.
It's like it's bad enough that he played in the American League. I thought he was going to resign with Toronto. I was like, he earned it. Toronto loves him. He loved Toronto.
That team was sick.
Of course, he's going to stick with us. Yeah. Of course, he signed with Texas, and I don't blame him.
Dude, that's going to be kind of crazy.
Take the money where you can get it, but it just happens to be in the West. So
yeah, him and Seager, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference. Like the Rangers got rid of Elvis Andrews, and then 2 years later they signed Corey Seager, and now it's like,
that's insane, man.
He's got Elvis Andrews, bro.
Hey, they're the new Angels of the West.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But all right, so stadium stuff. The EIR is finally finished. It sounds like we'll have some more clarity within the next couple of months, but this stuff always kind of seems to kind of take longer. So, it sounds like some people are circling February as a possible date when they could discuss and certify the EIR. I know this is just like a necessary hurdle, but hey, they're doing it, and it's like they're making progress. I'm pretty optimistic about it, but obviously there's still a lot of work to be done. You guys, I know you guys have said you're kind of pissed off, you guys bummed, like, about that whole situation. Like, is that just detracting from the field?
I'm very happy that the EIR came out.
Well, it's the closest that they've been. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I think we're like.
No, you're good.
I think we're like delayed or something.
I know. It's weird. I don't know if it's me or if it's George.
You guys should Rochambeau.
My bad. Go ahead, Doc. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's fine if I cut you off. But it's the closest that they've ever been. It feels like it's more positive than anything. What was it? The mayor of Vegas said that she feels like there's a 60% chance that they're going to stay in Oakland. So I feel like that negative part is dying down, and people are focusing more on the positive.
I didn't hear her say
EIR
that
coming out. Yeah, this was a couple days ago, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think she was on some podcast, but I mean, it seems like the A's are gaining traction, and this is it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was weird, man, to hear like a Vegas politician say like, oh, I think we're not gonna give him any what do you call it, public funding for the land, for anything basically, and she pretty much said like, I think they're gonna stay. We hope they stay in Oakland. And I was just like, damn, that's like coming from.
That's crazy. I gotta go listen to that. I didn't hear that stuff. I gotta go find that stuff.
Yeah, man. Even I was like surprised and shocked. Like I wish people, politicians like that.
That'd be so ironic if like the Raiders are responsible for keeping the A's in Oakland. They're like, oh, we're paying for the Raiders stadium. We don't want the A's. You keep staying in Oakland. That'd be hella funny, dude.
Dude, what's funny is like I feel like the Raiders obviously have. The Raiders, to me, are like the Yankees of the NFL, right? Like they had that's not the face of the NFL, but they at least were like as famous as them, even more, to where you could move them, and do that. The A's are acting like,
I see, just like a hella big brand where they could just go wherever and they would be fine. Like, yeah, I was like the Yankees. I was like, what?
no, like the brand basically. Because like, and then the A's are acting just like them, and you're like, dude, like you guys don't have this huge fan base that transcends the whole nation for you to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go over there, and I bet you we're gonna be the shit. Like, no, man, like I people know you guys are cheap bastards.
Yeah, there's no secret about that. Like they made a movie about it.
For real.
What?
So,
yeah, I don't know, because I wonder, like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like like I wonder if they're just really convinced, like, oh, we can fill this place for 80 dates and just off tourism. Like they would have to be on the strip. I think they would have to be on the strip, but I don't know.
They would
I sound hella gargly. I just heard myself. I sound hella gargly, huh? Hella messed up. But I don't know. I just think like they put so much effort into Howard Terminal so far. It's like they should at least see this through, and then like I feel like it's heading to the point now where it's like if it doesn't work out, it's because the A's don't want it to work out. I mean, obviously I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's like, dude, Oakland's putting forth the work. Like they're tapping into federal funds. Like they got Alameda County to sign on board. Like they pushed this shit through. Like I mean, yeah. I was gonna say Libby Shaft's all about it, but I was like, that's probably doesn't really help.
Yeah.
But,
It felt for the longest time that there's so much finger pointing going on, like you're to blame. No, you're to blame. Then now it feels like Oakland's like, all right, let's just get it done. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And they're putting their hand out for the handshake. And now we're waiting on the A's to meet them in the middle. And yeah, but I feel like all that drama is kind of slowly dying. And I like the fact that there's some positivity towards this whole thing for once, because it was all just Vegas for over like the last 6 months. So
yeah, I was pretty excited when the EIR came out. I mean, it's something I've been following since high school. I mean, I wrote a paper on this. It's the first time I've ever seen an EIR for a stadium in Oakland.
It's crazy, right? It's like there's an actual framework in place now. Like it's like I know like there's so much stuff to be done. Like they got to figure out the financials. Hyphy Republic, that independent reporter on Oakland, he was saying like the big sticking point is they got to get the development deal done. But I don't know. Like I keep referencing the Santa Clara Stadium with the Niners, and and I just went back to look. I found some timeline of like when they approved everything, and it was like 2 years that like between the EIR certification and the development deal, and that's where they said, oh, they're getting their financing
Oh,
from
wow.
like Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, whatever. So it's like, I don't know if like in 2 years there still isn't more clarity to this situation, maybe, but I think like there's, yeah, there's like they keep progressing as it should,
Right.
so like it's progressing on a path on a trajectory towards a completion. Like obviously it's maybe 60% there or whatever, 70% there or whatever, but they're getting, like, I think they're beyond the halfway point, I think, with the draft of this, like
100%.
yeah.
I agree. And you know what we should take to account, or at least in my opinion, I think they're moving not way too fast, but they're moving pretty like in my opinion, they're pretty much going forward and moving pretty faster than what I expected.
They're just saying
even
like
with
yes to everything pretty much,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah, no,
it's like, are they really taking time to examine everything kind of deal?
yeah, like
Or-
I think they're ahead of it actually, where people think that there's this thing where like they're going super slow, but in my opinion, I mean, we're still in a pandemic, and I can't believe that
and that shit is
they're
coming
not-
back too, dude. And I
Yeah.
wonder if they're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like, like, I mean, Alameda County, that's what they always say. They're like, we're trying to deal with the health crisis, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
But I don't think nothing's gonna close again. There's no way, because we already know what to do. We already know the steps to take in order to kind of contain this.
Yeah.
The Omarion.
Yeah, I think
Omarion.
Omarion's my favorite. I think Omarion's my
The
favorite.
B2K strain,
Yeah. Yeah,
But going back to the
sick
EIR,
dance
man,
moves
yeah,
on your
no,
ass.
I celebrated that thing, and I'm hoping for some good news. January 19, 2022. It's at 3 p.m. They're gonna vote on certification of the final, and I think
Well, no, so I think it's like the housing commission has to like be like, oh yeah, this is like
sorry, yeah, the Oakland Planning Commission is
yeah. So they have to like okay it, and then I think it's like in February is when it would be first eligible for the city council to look at it. Who knows if they actually do it then? But technically that's when, yeah. So that's like that's why people are stoked about February, because that's like the next, January 19th in February.
Yeah. I mean, even then, that's kind of again, that's kind of a big thing if it gets past the planning commission too. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, really? Are they gonna be able to review that whole thing in a month? Like, maybe it's like I know everybody wants this thing done, but like, I don't know. I think if they just get some sort of clarity in 2022, I think that's kind of the goal.
show me the money.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, on all the slides throughout this whole process, the A's have said like they will stake $5.77 billion of capital for the $6 billion project. So it's like, and at one point I asked Dave Campbell's like, is it, Fisher's Investments? He's like, oh, the A's will pay for it. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but I was like, okay. So I got to trim payroll, but
God.
so yeah, who knows? I mean,
yeah, this is.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's something. I think it's something is happening. Something has happened, and I think it's something significant. But definitely still a lot of work to go. So, but
I agree. But again, it's we're moving in the right direction. And what did you say that it took 2 years from the certification of the EIR and Santa Clara to actually put a shovel in the ground?
No, to just reach the development agreement, which I guess is the legally binding contract, which says like, this is for real, like this is like for real, like the entering the contract between the city and the developer, which would be the A. So
okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I think, and then so once that happened, I think it was like 4 months after that they put a shovel in the ground. So it was like 2 years and 4 months after the certification of the EIR is the timeline. So And if I remember correctly, the Niners like jump started their stuff like a year ahead of time or something like that. I remember.
Yeah, they had to meet some deadline. I want to say.
Yeah, there was something
About
going on.
yeah.
So like they might have had accelerated timeline too, but it sounds like the A's are on that same deal. Like from what I mean, I think like in the contract it says right now, 2025 is like the last time they can have a shovel in the ground, or like the drop dead date of 2028. So and then Cavill, I don't know. He said when he talked to Casey Pratt, he's like, it doesn't have to be 2024 or 2025. Maybe it could be faster, but I mean, who knows? I'm saying if it's done by 2025, 2024, that's probably best case scenario,
For the people that aren't,
for shovel on the ground. Yeah.
for like the fans, I think the fans want it super quick, but these things take time, man. And I don't think people understand how much time this actually takes to get things built, especially in California.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. And it's like these politicians, like you could tell in those meetings, like they got so much other shit to do. They're just like it's just part of their daily agenda. It's not like they're just like stopping all their
like
shit.
Baseball.
Like, they're like, yeah, let me put all my efforts into this. Like, if you've been on the streets, like, we got homelessness, like we got a bunch of shit going on. So there's other stuff. Oh, we got the 10-minute warning from
it's back.
Zoo.
Yeah, 10-minute
timeouts left.
I know. Well, so I mean, with that kind of in mind, I think the 5 big players in this offseason that people are focused on are the 3 pitchers. It's Bassett, Manaea, Frankie, and then the 2 Mets. So between like with those 5, what's your guys' gut feeling on what they're gonna do, man? Do you think they're gone? Do you think they're staying to the deadline?
I think they're gonna hold on to the pitching. I'm expecting one of the Mets to be traded. I know Ole was in the trade rumors with the Yankees since the day after the World Series until now.
That also might be like a Yankees-itis, trade rumor-itis. The Yankees are always, the Yankees are always,
it's gonna be one of those 2 traded. I don't think it'll happen this year, because everyone's saying the whole team's going to be blown up. I'm just having a hard time deciding who they're going to trade first or if they're going to keep both. Because I know if they're going to keep Chapman, he's going to offer or not offer. Like they're going to want the world for
they're going to demand. Yeah, they're going to demand.
Oh yeah, demand. That's what I meant. Yeah. Ole's the one who I think they're going to keep, but I think they're going to flip one of them next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, with the A's, man, everything goes. Like, just be prepared for the.
There are no sacred cows, as they say.
You've learned that the hard way, and you don't pay attention to what they say about like, oh yeah, so and so is it's untouchable. Nah, man, with the A's.
But I don't think they're really, from just all the leaks or just what everybody's saying, it doesn't sound like anybody's off the books. They're gonna listen. If they get some like crazy deal, like they're probably gonna trade anybody. But
especially for their farm system too.
Yeah,
like they don't got that much in the farm system.
Yeah, I think they need some more upper level pitching. Because I think I don't know, especially now like Caprillian's up and like Jeffries can't really seem to stay healthy and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like they probably need an Irvin's up there now. Like, I don't know. Yeah, they probably need to do a little something. But when did you guys realize like, oh shit, this is how it is? I think like they trade away everybody. I think for me it was like 2004. I think it was 2004 when they traded away. I think they traded away Mulder and
Yeah.
They traded Mulder and Hudson, or what was that? I think there was 2 really. It was
I'll tell you mine.
I think it was Mulder trade. I was like, oh damn, they just trade anybody.
It was around Christmas, wasn't it?
I was like
17
at the time. So.
I remember one of them got traded around Christmas.
It was Halloween.
Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Get your holidays right, bro.
Sorry. I can't keep up these days.
Sorry to be specific, but I remember that the Green Stampede, we were doing the annual Halloween haunted house, and I remember it was on the sorority's house like TV, and it just said the A's just traded Mark Mulder for blah blah blah. I don't even remember who it was, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, they traded Hudson
serious?
and Mulder that year. Yeah, they traded
Yep.
Hudson. So maybe they'll do that. They'll trade 2 out of the 3 and keep one of them. Maybe that's what they'll do this time too.
Man, when I realized that they're kind of cut though was with Mark McGuire, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Like McGuire, like that was using his prime, dude. Man, they could have. What if he did all those highlights against Sammy Sosa in the A's uniform? That'd be so crazy, dude.
Oh God.
Him and Bonds, that would have been like the biggest story in baseball, dude. Him and Bonds. Oh my God. In the bag.
Dude, for real.
And then Balco would have blown up. Oh man, that would have been crazy.
So Roger Maris and Mark McGuire both traded.
All right, I pulled it up on Wikipedia. December 16th, 2004. Tim Hudson traded to the Braves for Juan Cruz, Dan Meyer, and Charles Thomas. 2 days later.
So what's December?
Yeah. 2 days later. It was
it.
near Christmas. Yeah. The A's traded Mulder to the Cardinals for Dan Herron, Derek Barton, and Kiko Calero. So,
Hey, well, at least we got Derek Barton out of that, the
damn,
wall god.
They didn't really get anything out of the Hudson trade, but the Mulder trade, they got a little something out of that one, Yeah.
Got a couple of names everyone remembers.
Yeah, but damn, that Hudson trade did not, because he was really good like for a long time after that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Who do we trade in who do we trade to get Matt Holiday?
That was Carlos Gonzalez. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a centerpiece in it. Who else was in that trade?
I don't know, man. It's funny, like it's crazy. Like you look back at some of these names now, I'm like, damn, I remember
the Donaldson trade. We're like,
Donaldson's, yeah. I'm not sure, or just even names like Esteban Loaiza, Milton Bradley.
Elo.
Dude, he had a crazy story. He ended up being like a coke dealer, driving like 100 miles an hour on the freeway, getting arrested or something like that.
He's in prison right now.
Yeah. Something crazy like that.
He's trying to make Narcos Part 8 right over there. That dude was going crazy.
Yeah, someone needs to write a story about that.
Then he got married to Jenny Rivera, and then Jenny Rivera's plane crashed suddenly. Oh man, it's some crazy shit right there.
All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left. What are your closing comments? How are y'all feeling about just everything? It sounds like the number one issue is just like ownership betraying the trust of fans. That's like my overall takeaway from this offseason. It's just like, who even cares? Because it's like they just blowing up the trust with the raising the season ticket prices for next year. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, how much did your season ticket prices go up next year for bleachers?
Oh God,
too damn much.
It's like double, too damn high. The prices are too damn high.
I know we're gonna scale it down to half a season, especially with having the kids now. It's insanely too high.
Isn't it like come down to like $30 a ticket or something crazy for a bleacher seat for a season ticket bleacher seat at the A's? Like,
yeah,
I feel like price should be going down, not up. Like, you should be trying to get as many people in the stadium as possible. That's what I think. I don't know anything about economics,
and that's why I'm in this mood that I am right now.
Yeah. So
I need a drink.
Anyways, what's a positive thing we can talk about to end it? Huh?
Hey,
I don't know. We got to end it on a positive.
We finally got a manager and got that ER.
Yeah, Mark Kotsay.
So,
EIR. Dude. They got the ER. They got the ER. But all right, guys. Thank you guys so much again for joining. Jorge Leon, Anson Casanares. I forget your guys' Twitter handles, but
link in bio.
Hashtag link in bio.
Love, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ricky Blog. I'm your host, Alex Espinoza. Thank you guys. We will be back with another one. Who knows? Hopefully it doesn't take like 3 months, but 6 months.
Shout out Casey Pratt.
Yeah,
Casey Pratt.
Follow Casey Pratt for all your stadium news. ABC7. He's the guy.
Sir.
All right.